Music on the weekend when the news has been led by news of a punk band taking on a government. So in the spirit of Pussy Riot and Woody Guthrie, I welcome you. Against the law to walk, against the law to talk, it's against the law to loaf, against the law to work, it's against the law to read, against the law to write, it's against the law to be black or brown or white, everything's against the law. Yeah. I'm a low-paid daddy singing him high price blues, yeah. Against the law to eat, it's against the law to drink, it's against the law to worry, against the law to think, it's against the law to marry or try to settle down, it's against the law to ramble like a bum from town to town, everything's against the law, yeah. I'm a low-paid daddy singing him high price blues, yeah. Against the law to come, against the law to go, it's against the law to ride, against the law to go, it's against the law to hug, against the law to kiss, it's against the law to shoot, against the law to miss, everything's against the law. I'm a low-paid daddy singing him high price. Against the law to gamble, against the law to roam, it's against the law to organize or try to build a home, it's against the law to sing, against the law to dance, it's against the law to tell you all the trouble on my hands, everything in Winston-Salem is against the law. I'm a low-paid daddy singing him high price. Yeah. Woody Guthrie was born 100 years ago this year in Oklahoma, a place called Okemah, Oklahoma, on the 14th of July 1912. And he began as a sign writer and then became a songwriter. He moved to New York City in 1940. And around 1952, 1953, he succumbed to a terminal illness called Huntington's disease, which is a disease of the central nervous system, and he died in hospital in 1967. He was incapacitated from 1955 onwards. But he was a great songwriter, and many of the songs he wrote, in fact the majority of the songs he wrote, he never actually recorded. He was incredibly prolific, but he only recorded up until 1940, so all that period he was living in New York, he was writing songs every day, but he wasn't recording them. And there's a slight problem about that, because although he was writing these songs down, like me, Woody Guthrie isn't actually very musical. I'm not particularly musical, I'm a guitar player. A musician is someone who can play a piano. That is a musician. A guitar player is just someone who's got good hand, left and right hand coordination. You know, it's much the same as playing Guitar Hero. And Woody famously once said, anyone who knows more than 2 chords is just showing off. Yeah, how punk rock is that? Well, he didn't write music notation. when he wrote a song, and I've got an example here to show you. When he wrote a song, all you got was a manuscript. This is actually one of his photocopy of one of his manuscripts there. You see just lyrics and no music. Although it says words and music by Woody Guthrie, where's the music? He kept it in his head. So when he died in 1967, the music for these songs that he'd written but not recorded was lost forever. And there were over 3,000 songs in the Woody Guthrie archive in New York City. And in the late 1990s, his daughter Nora invited me and the American band Wilco to come in and write some new music for these songs, because she believed that her father had become kind of sort of kidnapped by academics, which is not a nice thing to happen to anyone. It's bad enough that they teach me for O-level without being, you know, what? When I think of how much I hate Jane Austen because of Northanger Abbey. All those poor little bastards at O-level having to do between the wars. That's actually the most common thing that anybody, sort of teenagers ever say to me if they clock that. They say, "Are you Billy Bragg?" I'm like, "Yeah, I am, yeah." They say, "Oh, my teacher thinks you're great." It's better than my granny thinks you're great, isn't it? Let's be honest. But yeah, Nora Guthrie believed that until these lyrics were heard, the voice of her father was heard, people didn't really know the real Woody Guthrie. In some ways, because he wrote This Land Is Your Land, and because he's influenced Bob Dylan, she felt he'd become a bit of a two-dimensional character. And she wanted this project, Mermaid Avenue, to force people to go back to the source and listen to the voice of the man in the archive. And that's what I'm hoping to do this afternoon with you here. That you've come here, you may know nothing about Woody, you may know something about Woody, you may know a lot about Woody, but when you leave, I want you to think differently of the man Woody Guthrie did before you came into this place. And one of the reasons for that is because he was such an incredible character. Here's a song, I'm going to play you a song now that he wrote in 1941 about the role of women in society, particularly during the war, but also in his life as well. He made that connection. It's kind of a proto-feminist song. Not many people, I don't think Glenn Miller wrote any proto-feminist songs, if I remember rightly, in the 1940s. So, and I want to play this one because it's dedicated to Nora's mum, Marjorie Guthrie. And were it not for her, she died in the 1980s, were it not for her, we wouldn't have these lyrics, because Woody was terrible about writing songs and leaving them lying around. The only time that Pete Seeger ever said the F word, allegedly, was when he was with Woody Guthrie one day and they went on a little aeroplane ride for 20 minutes, and at the end of that, Woody had written 4 songs. Pete labours to write songs. Woody had written 4 songs and he left them on the seat on the airplane. Seeger got them and he said, "You are taking these with you, you little..." He was kind of like that. He kind of left. There are none of his guitars, his famous guitars with This Machine Kills Fascists, he just gave them away to people. He's kind of like that. But thanks to Marjorie, his wife, Nora's mum, we have these archives. So I think it's fitting that I play this song that he wrote for her and for the role of women in society in general. It's called She Came Along to Me. The music, I wrote the music for this one. It goes like this. 100 books could I write you about her, 'cause I felt if I could know her, I would know all women. But they've not been any too well known for brains and planning and organized thinking. But I'm sure the women are equal and they may be ahead of the men. You better believe it, brother, that I wouldn't spread such a rumor around, 'cause one organizes the other, and sometimes the most lost and wasted attract the most balanced and sane, and the wild and the reckless history by then. Maybe some, but never, never, never could have it been done if women hadn't entered into the deal like she came along to me. Never could have it been done if women hadn't entered into the